Drive on Lugnutz.
This is Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers Media Network presentation of the Lugnutz podcast. And
it says we're live.
We are live, so that must mean we got to start the show.
That'd be nice. This week on Lugnutz, Volvo enables auto mode with limited speed. Recalls, and there's recalls.
Nice.
Kia's new idea of what public transit could be, the Kia way. The Defender comes to us. Onyx concept that we're going to discuss because it's a bit different. And we have a 1,600 horsepower Koenigsegg to talk about that just happens to have 4 doors.
Drive on Lugnutz indeed. And this is podcast number 129. I, of course, am one Matthew Bucarell, the Mat Man, and to my left is Stephen Bucarell, Big Brother. We culminate the Lugnutz podcast, and we got a bunch of luggy and nuttiness. Another thing that we want to do here is we want you to go over here to, pjnwh.com.
Find all our stuff. We have great videos, Let's Play.
All of our live videos, like the last one we did, Let's Play with your Projangers, Elder Scrolls Online, Greymore. Got a funny promo up there for a certain Anheuser-Busch product we want to promo.
Yes!
And then, of course,
to a pub near you.
Yes, you will find all of the best moments from the Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers podcast and stuff we do right up here in the promo section in the videos. And then you can find last week's Triforce right here, Stealing Segways, Bad Deadpool. And last week's Lugnutz, Mustard Mobile to BMW Vibrator. So, right. Of course, we start off
We will start off with what has Volvo been thinking of. Volvo says they will have autonomous driving on the highway by 2022.
Okay.
Autonomous driving, fully autonomous with this brand new LiDAR system for highways. Mm-hmm. As I was reading this, I thought the people that have those like LiDAR and radar detectors, this is going to drive them out of their mind.
Oh, yeah.
Because every Volvo is going to set those things off everywhere. As you see behind me, the system with cameras and LiDAR and radar, it creates a 3D picture of the world around you, around it, using a SPA2 module at the base of all cars. So I'm assuming they can be upgraded. They call it the ADAS system, Advanced Driving Assistance System. Quite catchy for Volvo.
It is.
It uses millions of pulses of light with cameras and software to build the 3D environment so you can sit back and relax, just like here.
Fantastic idea, especially with the LiDAR system.
They say this is the next era of safety. Most LiDAR systems alone go for $70,000. Volvo will... I would imagine it's not going to be a $70,000 add-on.
Yeah, that's obviously a prototype there, but especially the thing you got to concern yourself with is a lot of people like to have stuff on the roof, and especially with a lot of your equipment being on there, something you got to be very careful.
People buy Volvos, all of them have that like roof rack. Almost all of them have the roof rack. They'll have to be able to go through the whatever they got on their roof. I didn't actually watch that video before. That's a fantastic video.
Yeah, it is. But the LiDAR system, another thing that I saw here in the article is that they want to make it standard.
Yeah. Their idea is safety. And, it's kind of what you think of when you see a Volvo. They drive very safe. And in this next story, we talk about their plans to help with safety.
Do go on.
Okay. This is the Volvo. This is an ad for something, and this is the Volvo.
Yes.
Volvo says they will be limiting all their cars to 112. I didn't know Volvos could go that fast, honestly.
I mean,
did you know they could go that fast? I didn't know. It was just a random speed because they like the number in kilometers per hour. It's a good luck number.
Okay.
180. Not that the cars don't go that fast, but
Well, yeah, no, but it's just one of the things that's
it is
an odd number.
feature started in 2019. Oddly enough, I haven't heard about it till now.
Yeah.
So a good feature is you can also lower that maximum speed. Say if you have kids
Okay.
and they were driving, and you don't get to go over 55 miles an hour. 50, yes, you cannot drive over 55 because I have this key, and this is the one you get to use.
That's a helpful thing for parents to have, especially if you're...
Sounds like a devious thing that I would despise as a child.
Yes. Yes, because your parents could just hold the coolness factor of that sweet ride, that Volvo, right in your hand.
Yes, and in Europe, they also say that 180 kilometers per hour is a standard speed limit in all but one country. That would be Germany. They don't really believe in a speed limit. They got that Autobahn that sometimes, not always, but sometimes they can drive as fast as you want. Sounds like dreamland. Too bad I don't speak the language. Never going to learn.
No, God, no.
So, it detects moving speeds. This one in the picture will have 400 horsepower coming from a 331 ICE engine and 87 horsepower electric engine.
Okay.
So, with almost 500 torques. So, it probably can go the lucky number of 112.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, if you're going 112 miles an hour, unless you're an emergency vehicle, you really don't need to be going any faster.
You will be able to override the it'll have a GPS as well that'll tell you. By the way, the speed limit here is 25.
Okay.
And it'll flash a light on your board and you can just ignore it. Because I'm not going to buy a car that makes me drive the speed limit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Even though I drive the speed limit, I want to be able to pass that guy. It would be nice.
Yeah.
And if you're going to pack 500 torques in there, no.
Yeah. We're using all of them.
Well, I'd like to use all of them. I'm not that I'm going to afford a Volvo.
I would like all, please.
It's all about the driving passion. To have driving passion, you're going to have to make sure you get your recalls taken care of. There are a lot of recalls, so we're going to kind of cover it in one burst.
Yeah, man.
Quickly, this is the Subaru. They're having recalls because of engine stalling because of fuel pumps. 2019 models. This is also the Accent, Impreza, Legacy, Outback. Doesn't something about crashes? Should probably get it looked at. Honda.
Well, because of stalling. And that's the same thing with
no
Honda
reported
here.
crashes. Honda also has 1.4 million fuel pumps to work on from 2018 to 2019. This affects Acura because of a supplier, Denso.
So here's the big thing to pick up here. Now, the Subaru in the article, they said that you can get this stuff fixed. In this article with Honda, they're saying that you will be contacted if you are affected in late July. So if all else fails, contact your dealer. They may have it. They'll run it by VIN because anything with these recalls are VIN specific. So call them with your VIN number. It's on your insurance card, your registration, and about 5,000 places on your car.
How should you bring your car when you're getting a fuel pump change to the... Should you fill the fuel tank up to the very top? So it's perfect.
Absolutely no. And anything with the fuel pump, make sure that you have as low of a tank as you possibly can. That's it. Just make sure you
want to be like the story about the only time my grandfather had to buy a car. So he bought the car the day before, he said, we'll come back tomorrow and we'll have it ready. He came back tomorrow, and he had some deal where they just take his car. It broke right there when he got the new car.
That's getting every penny's worth.
Yeah, the only way
Like
to fly.
you can get out of these.
Toyota's having a faulty lower suspension arm. RAV4s could cause crash. So you're going to want to get that fixed on 2019 and 2020 models.
Yeah, and like the last one suggests, you'll be notified in July. So they got to have some time to get the proper fixes out there and figure out what exactly caused it to go.
Finally, the last recall.
Drum roll, wrong podcast. Drum roll, please.
Mitsubishi is also having rust problems
No way.
with the suspension and has a tendency to detach from 2018 to 2016 models.
And might
So
I
if
allude,
you
this is not the
don't-
only rust story you have in the podcast.
Yeah, I think there's more rust in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you own a Mitsubishi like ever, you should probably look into that for safety.
Once
I mean,
again-
if it says rust and will detach from the suspension, that sounds like you're going to get hurt. So do what you want.
Yeah.
I am going to move on to the next story.
Like,
The Kia Stingray. Is that the next one?
yeah, man.
The Kia Stingray is a
Okay.
four-door Kia. Where are my notes? It will be changed. They've stopped talking about what engine they're going to put in it,
Okay.
and they've started to hint that it's going to be all electric with a 300-mile range, which is really good range because now you get like 150-ish if
Yeah.
you bought something right off the showroom now. This is part of their 11 electric vehicles by 2020 plan. I think it's a good plan, especially when you're getting 300 miles range. That's a real usable distance for everyday sort of driving.
Absolutely.
But they have a different plan for public transit. When you're using public transit, how far would you say you had to go?
Public transit, I wouldn't say too far.
Less than 71 kilometers?
Feet.
Say you're in Italy for some reason,
Okay.
and they have one of these.
I'll walk.
So Kia's idea, this is their idea of public transit, like the micro cars of yesteryear.
It looks like a Johnny Cab.
Yeah. That's
Where would you like to go?
What it is. They're electric. They have limited power for personal use around town, public, less than 71 kilometers. China, this is being unrolled because 65% of people, because of the coronavirus, choose to prefer to go in a private car over public transit because, people are dying, I hear.
Fair enough. Fair enough. This will give them that.
It used to be,
Included option.
yes, only 35%. So,
Okay.
not that many people
Right.
wanting public transit. I think it's only if you can't really avoid it, which is a shame. Okay. 45 is the top speed and a range of 75 miles. But would you like to save $20,000 on a Jag?
Who wouldn't?
$20,000 on an I-Pace electric vehicle Jag. Not a bad looking car.
It's not. That's actually pretty impressive right there.
But only if you live in Oklahoma, or only if you buy it in Oklahoma and Seattle.
Okay.
Prices may vary and deal may vary from
Okay. That's very
whatever
specific.
to whatever. I think that's the only picture that there is, unless you want to learn about interest rates. When you buy a Volvo.
I mean, it's
or
very nice looking
Jag.
front end.
It's a nice looking car. The back end's kind of ridiculous, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't. If I'm in it, I don't. It's
don't
not
care
why you
about
buy a
that, yeah.
Jag. You buy it because it's comfortable and fast.
It's got room for your
Capable of doing rugged terrain. This is from parts from a Land Rover. 0 to 60 in
that's fine.
4 seconds. 239-mile range, which is quite a range. 394 horsepower and 512 torques are crammed in there.
There you go. But
Inspired by the CX-75 supercar concept, and that is our next link.
but we already have a link.
Yeah. The
Oh,
Lugnutz.
you mean you don't mean?
We're gonna look at it's the Wikipedia link.
Oh, you didn't mean.
This is the link.
Okay.
This is what it's inspired by.
Okay,
This is at the Paris Motor Show in 2010.
That's
You see the I see the inspiration in that back little weird,
right there.
that back little weird portion in the back. Yeah, I can see that. So, I think that looks fantastic.
Yeah, no, the headlights, the front end, complete that little weird end right there.
That weird end corresponds, and the little window looks to me like I could see inspiration there.
Right there. That tiny window that nobody is going to look out of besides maybe your pet hedgehog.
It's really there just to save weight, I guess.
Sure.
You know, this substance weighs
I like the
slightly
door.
less.
The
doors are fantastic.
Yeah, pretty cool. Too bad it's a concept.
Great rims, yes. Too bad it's a concept.
All the best things are concepts.
Oh, yes. They lose a lot of their... Because then they take them to a focus group and they go, what don't you like? Oh, it's so curvy.
Yeah.
More boxy. Like, oh, great.
Yeah. It's
You
all
ruined
about the
it.
public and what they
You ruined
demand.
it.
Like the Land.
The public demands that Land Rover Discovery comes to America.
Okay.
It will be for sale in America for the first time with all the bells and whistles.
There you go.
You go off-roading in a 4-door only, although it starts at 50,000 2-liter inline 4-cylinder with 296 horsepower and 295 torques. Doesn't quite sound enough. That's all right. They have an upgrade. 3-liter V6 turbo inline. 63K is where that one starts.
All right.
395 horsepower, 406 torques, and yes, you can get the ladder on the back.
So you're gonna wanna get
You're
the
gonna
V6.
want the ladder.
You're gonna want a V6
Yeah, if you're doing like this, why wouldn't you want a V6? If you're
with a
in the mud,
turbo,
like-
nonetheless. Inline V6 with a
Yeah.
turbo, absolutely. That thing's gonna haul ass.
If you're looking for something that can really off-road,
And
I mean,
especially
like,
some of
the
these
Defender will
off-road pictures,
kick
man.
ass.
Like right here, that's a pretty deep puddle. And then look at the mud just right up there. That not many vehicles would be able to go through. Off-road vehicle like that, Land Rover, you know Clarkson.
I would have tried it in the Acclaim.
Clarkson has
I would have
just talked
conquered
about
that
these
mud
all the
pit
time.
in the Acclaim.
Yeah, but Clarkson, well, you wouldn't have the land clearance. That's what I was saying. But
I would have made it.
Clarkson
Eventually.
has talked nothing but high praise about a lot of Land Rovers. And
Yeah, they're, they use them for camera cars, and if we could afford a camera car that costs $60,000,
right there.
I would need to be. Someone would have
Sponsorship.
Yes, that would be fantastic. Send us over a car. We'll do a video.
Absolutely. But
Peugeot Onyx was a concept car that they made like the Statue of Liberty.
Ugh.
All about corrosion. They want it to corrode.
Good Lord.
I don't know why you'd want it to corrode and rust, but they like the look. I like the one on the far side there. This one, the new one, as opposed to the rusty. Am I
Sorry.
interrupting you?
No, I finally found our podcast. Jesus Christ, Facebook. There we go. So, I don't know. I love the look of the car. The copper is extremely awesome. I don't know. It's something about it. The rust. When
They want the corrosion.
no, God, that looks ugly.
How can that? I bet you this one here over
Yeah.
your head is like probably a little bit
That-
faster, because the other one is
absolutely.
like, I'd never buy a car. I'd want that like coating stuff so it doesn't like.
What are they going to sell you?
Change.
Use toilet paper next? God,
that
like,
was
ugh.
the idea. Well, the interior is made out of recycled materials,
All right. I mean, still.
so they have that going for them. That's about it.
That just,
But it's a concept car, and thankfully, Peugeot
Thank
will not
God.
be. Can you imagine if someone was proud of this? Look at it; it's amazing.
No, I would be really worried for Peugeot if they said, no, this is what we're standing by. This shows class, it adds patina, and it shows a thing of
15
beauty to a
months
car.
difference. That is a 15-month difference.
No.
Holy
Good
Jiminy.
Lord. I can already hear the
You know what?
customer
It is.
complaints.
It's a very different concept.
I can see a very wealthy person buying that car because, oh, it looks so nice. And then they come back like, it's rusted. That's what I see.
I think
I
it's
see
a member of. It was on Top Gear. The Stones has suits made, and he just sits in them and turns it on, and that's it.
Okay.
That's what you do when you live on the planet that the Stones live on, which is probably like heaven.
Yeah. What else is like heaven is a
1600 horsepower 4-seat Koenigsegg. Is that it? That is it.
Do you have to get your kids to soccer quickly?
Seriously, that has 4 seats. Let's look at the seats.
Yes, no, that definitely has 4 seats. It's more like my GTI used to be, to where you just have really big doors, but that is definitely a 4-seater.
So the guy who designed it says,
boom, look at that. Side of the fucking car comes off.
Yeah, that is seriously awe-astonishing.
Oh my God.
That is an and it has just, those are massive doors.
Good Lord, man.
Can you imagine trying to lift that thing at the hydraulics fail?
No, but I want it.
Man.
Come on,
Dude.
guys, we're going. Where?
We're just going to drive around the block. All right, we're here. What are you doing
going to
now?
Wawa.
Yeah. So the designer and cues have been taken from a dolphin, not a shark. A dolphin.
Okay.
He stresses
Dolphin.
that it was designed after a dolphin.
I mean, they are similar.
I don't care what
Except
you design.
one's a fish.
Okay, I don't care what you designed it after. It's really neat. It looks really cool.
I mean, still, Lamborghini kind of did it first.
Yeah, with the doors.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well,
ours
actually,
goes straight.
For a 4-seater car, it was Porsche, and when they came out,
Yeah.
they were horrible. But I was looking at one in traffic when I was going to the pharmacy, and I couldn't take my eyes. It was one of those new ones, and they had like a 4-year-old driving it. Their kid must have been driving it or whatever. They wish they had that Volvo speed limiter. But I couldn't take my eyes off. It was actually, it's growing on me is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would buy this over that, but if I could afford it, I'd rather have a Koenigsegg because I'd have to store it somewhere else in a locked garage.
Yeah, 100%. You would not. No, that's not something that's going to be parked on the street.
I think I'll stick with my 10-year-old Nissan.
Yeah, but oh my God, look at that. The interior is very bright, and looking at
It's every Koenigsegg. Every time I've seen them, pictures of them, they're exquisite cars. Remember the original one had that stainless steel gear shifter where you could see the parts moving.
Yeah.
The Koenigsegg's are like works of art.
Absolutely.
I like knowing they're around, but I don't necessarily want one.
Like another work of art, not Hawaiian shirts.
The DB5.
Mm-hmm.
So, you found this story on the DB5 from the 1964 film, 1959 novel of James Bond.
Entitled
Goldfinger.
Goldfinger!
It has a 4-liter inline V6, 290 horsepower.
Yeah.
Only 4,500 hours to build one.
Yeah, about 4,500 hours.
It'll have the machine guns.
That is very lightly delivered.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have all the gadgets of the James Bond Goldfinger DB5 Aston Martin. And it's underpowered.
Mm-hmm.
It's only got like 290 horsepower, I believe.
That's because it has machine guns.
The machine guns weigh it down, but
they probably
take up space.
They're probably not going to give you bullets for the machine guns. You're going to have to find or a firing pin.
The oil slick, the ejector
The machine guns
seat,
are probably just for show, to be honest with you. See the laws in your various
But how surprised
countries.
would you be? You accidentally cut off an old car. You're like, fuck it. All of a sudden,
I think I would
machine
recognize a DB5.
But all of a sudden, you see a fucking machine gun pop up out of this guy's fucking
If I
headlight.
saw it, I'd want to take a photo of it. But
Some people people would be crapping their britches if they saw. I would love that. Other people, and then the
that
other
would
people,
be a lot. There'd be a lot of police calls.
and then the other people would just be driving slow, just so they could get a picture of your car because it's the James Bond car, and they realize what you're driving. So
You'd have to
it'd be such an
always
interesting.
when you drive it. You'd have to always wear a suit and tie.
Absolutely.
A 3-piece suit. It'd have to be a 3-piece suit.
It'd get hot in the summer, but it'd be totally worth it driving one of these. But there's only going to be 25 of them made, and it's about 2.25 million euros. That's not including
much?
tax.
With tax. Oh.
Yeah, plus tax and shipping if you want to get it over here. But 2.25 million euros. But
So, Mark-
you're getting a James Bond car, man.
So, Mark Zuckerberg, if you look how classy that looks with
How
Sean
could
Connery.
you not want that car?
Yes, Sean
If I
Connery.
had, about
Yes.
$3 to $4 million, I would totally buy that. But that's why I don't have $3 to $4 million. But
It will get stolen the next day.
yes, this is pretty much they collabed with a company to make a Continuum car because those are very
yeah.
popular, like the Back to the Future mobile with the DeLorean.
The
They're making
DeLorean.
those,
Yeah.
and it's the same kind of thing. But they're like, nah, we're doing something classy. James Bond, Aston Martin DB5, absolutely worth it.
Machine guns, tire slashers, and other gadgets. Who
Absolutely.
hasn't wanted that in a while?
I mean,
are you
tire
looking for a new
slashers-
car?
Tire slashers, that would still be metal, so that would still be. They would have to be like rubber if they didn't want you
I don't know.
to. But then again, you could still swap it
They
out.
probably just want them because they're probably not going to make them actual metal because of liability. So, are you in the market for a new car? Because Hertz is slowly but surely drowning and is throwing off cars like no tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So, here's a list of cars. Would you like a BMW 7 Series?
I mean,
13% below market value? You can get one for $42,000 and have a 7 Series.
okay.
So if you're really looking for a deal, and
Now-
you know what to look for on a car, what would you want to look for
These
on
cars
a
were
car like this?
rental cars, man. So you got to imagine people were driving the balls off them, and they don't care because it's a rental car.
Yeah.
You're driving a fucking, something that requires fully premium gas. They're putting in regular. They don't care.
But I could get a Ford Fiesta for $9,737 plus tax. Prices may vary.
You could buy a Kia Forte for $10,000, but I'm sure you can find a used Kia Forte that hasn't been driven like it's a old French whore for probably cheaper than that for a lot less miles.
Let's look. Kia Forte. Was that even on there? Oh, it is.
Kia Forte,
Hey, there's one for $4,000.
$4,000, right there.
Doesn't
11,
really.
$4,000, 18, $10,000. I rest my case.
If you'd like to help out them or get a car that you can,
Nissan
if you'd like to get
Quest.
ripped off for a car,
Yeah, Nissan Quest, the Golf, the Cascadia.
you know what?
Nissan
It doesn't really
Versa.
look like it's the Echo to do.
Now
if it's
this
a
one,
current one,
A Toyota Tundra. The Toyota Toyota trucks are absolutely fantastic. They're
5,000.
great trucks, but they usually cost
18.
a lot. Look at that, an 18 with doesn't really say the
2002
miles right off the bat,
is only
but that's
$6,000.
25.
That's a
about
vastly
26
smaller
grand
one.
for an 18. So that's a 2-year-old car, 3-year-old if you're going by the current
Let's look at
product
the
model.
older one. Do they have photos?
That is 16.
Let's look at the
lot
2005.
The 2005. That was a classic.
They don't have any more photos.
That's it.
Okay, we're gonna have to do all.
That's why it says one of one.
Oh, I didn't see that. I was just looking at the car.
But it is a classic truck. Cadillac CTS, the Silverado 1500, especially if you can grab a Silverado for 24. So, once again,
Some deals are to be had.
Now, if you're looking for a truck that's a truck, this may be a great place to pick one up if you're looking for one, because you haven't driven the balls off it, but what are you going to use it for? If you're just going to use it for simple stuff that you need a truck for, just to sit around until you need to use it. That is where you're going to get a really good deal for a truck with the Hertz going under.
I get a Toyota.
Door
I get a
closes.
Tundra.
Yeah,
Or something smaller.
one door closes, another one opens. So if you're looking for a good thing, even like a van, a lot of people, romp around collecting stuff in vans. You can,
Oh yeah, you can
You
use
know?
a lot of space in vans.
There's a lot of movement here for somebody who's looking for a used car, and you may be able to get something really nice for a nice discount on there, man. So we always, as
I would
thrifty
imagine
as
it's
we are.
probably close to current model year. They sell them rather regularly. But they're slowly drowning and they're trying to pay off creditors. But if you'd like to benefit off their failure,
I mean, you're looking
or
at
all
least
of our
like
failures,
$1 to
as
$3
society,
grand on average savings just from this list.
it looks like you could save a bit of money if you're looking for a car.
Yeah. So that's a helpful advice to end off the podcast there. And
We try and be helpful. Here at PJANDWH, thank you for joining us.
.com. You can
Like,
find over
share, subscribe below, and most importantly, comment below. We love to hear about you.
Absolutely. You can find all of our greatest podcast moments right here in the videos section, as well as all of our other podcasts popping up down here. And yeah, who knows? We may actually go live on here once. But our new segment, show, is called Let's Play with Your Projangers.
Yes.
And an interesting note on that is that if you type in Let's Play with Your Projangers, not only are we the first thing, but
We're
nothing...
probably the only thing.
True, but nothing dirty pops up. I found that very surprising for a Let's Play with Your title.
It's because
And
Google
nothing
has
dirty
no idea what to do with the word. You what?
What the fuck is a projanger?
Hey, it's someone who watches Lugnutz on Monday or on Sunday and Let's Play on Saturday, and someone who likes talk
try
about video
Force on
games on
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
that's it.
We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm Matthew Bucarell, the Madman. Stephen Bucarell, Big Brother. This is the end of the Lugnutz podcast. And remember, it does not matter if you drive a 4-seater Koenigsegg with 1,600 horsepower or a Volvo with 112 mile per hour limiter. Nothing rolls without Lugnutz. We'll see you tomorrow, gang, and next week. Bye-bye. Drive on.
Pizza. Oh, hi. Pizza. Cuckoo.
Forgot I end off with that. My own tagline, you know.
That was quick for you. That was
Yeah.
quick for you.
You know what? You said nothing during this entire podcast. I'm starting to think you're dead weight.
Yeah, he's the.
You just sat there chomping your bone the entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you to chomp on it beforehand, but you still you don't. I don't know. I tell you what, your yearly review is coming up, and
Hey man,
Gotta tell you, man.
I don't do podcasts. I keep critters out of the yard and bark at the neighbors.
fair enough, fair enough. Well, maybe I won't be so critical on your yearly review, but we will see.
It's just what I do, man. I do me.
Okay, once upon a time with Lugnutz. This time, we will actually go live when we go live. Like
There
learn.
is a hell of an idea. My
Jeff Goldblum.
phone is basically dead. No surprise there.
R.I.P.
I'm gonna have to put gas in it.
Oh yeah, you mean it's charging, right?
No, it's not. It's just.
Well, it needs to be charged.
It just needs to be charged, and I don't really care about.
It's not passing on to the green pasture in the sky for
I
some.
don't really care about anything on it. Really, I don't even carry it around with me all the time.
I'll tell you what though, what they will carry their finger right over here to click that subscribe button. They're going to also find all the best Lugnutz podcasts right over there in the playlist.
We're here.
They're going to find the best purge hangers and wall hangers video for them right above my head. And as our main man Connor says, one punch.
Buns.